Today we're taking a look at these NCAAF matches, which are happening on Thursday, November 17, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. So make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Tulane vs SMU. The Mustangs entered this game 7th in the FBS in passing offense as they average 325.9 yards per game through the air, while they are tied for 59th in rushing offense with 160.5 yards per game. SMU is 9th in the nation in scoring offense as they put up 40.3 points per game, while they are 117th in scoring defense by allowing an average of 32.6 points per game. Tanner Mordecai is 207 of 327 passing this season for 2,780 yards with 27 touchdowns against 7 interceptions, while adding 105 yards plus 2 scores on the ground. Preston Stone is 28 of 48 for 388 yards with 2 touchdowns and an interception, while adding 63 yards plus 2 scores on the ground. TJ McDaniel has been part of the ground game with 37 carries for 190 yards plus 4 scores. Tree Siggers, 60 carries, 229 yards, 4 TD, Kamer Wheaton, 43 carries, 256 yards, 2 TD, Tyler Lavin, 76 carries, 405 yards, 7 TD, and Velton Gardner, 69 carries, 364 yards, TD, are capable of sharing the load. Rashee Rice is far and away the top receiving threat as he has 77 catches for 1,167 yards plus 9 scores. Jordan Curley, 22 catches, 448 yards, 4 TD, RJ Maryland, 20 grabs, 226 yards, 4 TD, Dylan Goffney, 14 catches, 293 yards, 2 TD, and Moochie Dixon, 20 catches, 285 yards, 3 TD, each are over the 225-yard mark receiving this season. Colin Rogers has hit all 49 extra point attempts and 12 of 15 field goal attempts with a long of 46 this year. This season, the Green Wave is 57th in the nation in passing offense with 238.2 yards per game through the air and 49th in rushing offense with 177.7 yards per contest on the ground. Tulane is 37th in the FBS in scoring offense with an average of 32.7 points per game, while they are 17th in scoring defense by allowing 19 points per contest. Michael Pratt is 165 of 252 passing for 2,079 yards with 17 touchdowns against 4 interceptions. He adds 247 yards plus 6 scores on the ground last season. Justin Ibieta is 13 of 16 for 138 yards while contributing 15 yards plus a score on the ground. Kai Horton is 13 of 23 for 165 yards with 3 scores on the year. The run game is led by Tyjae Spears, who leads the team with 142 carries for 875 yards and 10 touchdowns. Shadi Clayton Johnson, 47 carries, 233 yards, 2 TD, and Iverson Celestine, 69 carries, 265 yards, are also in the mix. Shea Wyatt is 3rd on the team with 24 catches for 416 yards and 3 scores this year. Tight end Tyrick James, 21 grabs, 255 yards, 5 TD, Deuce Watts, team high 27 catches, 410 yards, 6 TD, Jaquin Jackson, 26 receptions, team high 421 yards, 2 TD, and DD McDougall, 23 catches, 236 yards, TD, are good secondary options. Valentino Ambrosio has hit all 21 extra point attempts and 6 of 7 field goal attempts with a long of 42 this year. Kristen Esnert has booted all 20 extra point attempts and 3 of 6 field goals with a long of 30, While Graham Dable connected on his lone extra point without attempting a field goal this season. SMU has been rolling of late with 3 straight wins and 4 victories in their last 5 contests. The problem for the Mustangs is that they have major issues on the defensive side of the ball this season. SMU is giving up 197.6 yards per game on the ground and 4.7 yards per carry, while allowing 20 rushing scores this season. Tulane, even with their loss to UCF last week, has been excellent on the defensive side of the ball. The Green Wave is a top 20 scoring defense this season, and they have a capable offense that can put points on the board. Playing at home works in their favor as well. Take Tulane in this contest as they keep pace for the top spot in the NCAA heading into next week's regular season finale against Cincinnati. Take the Tulane Green Wave -3 points. The SMU Mustangs handed the US Bulls, now 1-9, their 8th straight loss on Saturday, with a final of 41-23. This game came after US fired their head coach Jeff Scott and defensive coordinator Bob Shoop on Sunday. Interim US coach Daniel Da Prado led his team to a good second half and showed some fight against the Mustangs. SMU became bowl eligible this game, with SMU QB Tanner Mordecai completing 19 27 passes for 280 yards in the air, 2 TDs, and 0 interceptions. Mustangs RB Tyler Lavin led the offense in rushing with 112 yards out of a total rushing yardage of 273 yards, 553 total offense in this game. Defensively, the Mustangs allowed 197 yards passing and 179 yards rushing, ending the game ranked 120th overall in FBS. Will the SMU defense be able to tighten up in time before the late-night visit to Bourbon Street on Saturday night? The Green Wave hosted the UCF KNIGHTS 8-2, 5-1 AUK and lost by a final score of 38-31 last Saturday. The SMU Mustangs will look to build on their 41-23 win over US last time out. Tanner Mordecai has thrown for 2,780 yards, 27 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, on 63.3% passing, while Tyler Lavin has a team-high 405 rushing yards with 7 touchdowns, while Velton Gardner has 364 rushing yards, and Kamer Wheaton and Tree Siggers each have 200-plus rushing yards and a combined 6 touchdowns this season. Rashee Rice leads SMU in receiving with 77 grabs for 1,167 yards and 9 touchdowns, while Jordan Curley has 22 grabs for 448 yards and 4 scores. 4 more Mustangs have at least 200 receiving yards as well on the year. On defense, Jimmy Phillips Jr. has a team-high 58 total tackles, while Nelson Paul has a team-high 5 sacks, and Nick Roberts has a team-high 3 interceptions this season. The Tulane Green Wave will be out to rebound from a 38-31 loss to UCF in their last game. Michael Pratt has thrown for 2,079 yards, 15 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, on 65.5% passing, while Tyjae Spears has 875 rushing yards and a team-high 10 rushing TDs. Jaquin Jackson has a team-high 421 receiving yards, while Shea Wyatt has 416 receiving yards with 3 TDs, and Deuce Watts has a team-high 27 catches for 410 yards and 5 touchdowns. On defense, Dorian Williams has a team-high 84 total tackles, while Tulane's defense as a whole has 14 sacks and 8 interceptions. This season. This game put UCF as the leader in the AUK, an upset game for Tulane, who is widely seen as having the toughest rush defense in their conference and ranked highly in all of FBS in total yardage defense, 20th ranked. Tulane QB Michael Pratt had 3 touchdowns on 236 yards, completing 23 39 passes and no interceptions. Green Wave running back Tyjae Spears rushed for 130 yards out of a total of 155 yards on the ground total. Tulane finished with 391 yards of offense while allowing 336 yards rushing and 132 yards passing by UCF. The Tulane defense showed softness against the Knights. Will it be enough to stop SMU, who is ranked number 9 in points per game? Tulane's defense had an off week playing against the Knights last week, but have one of the best defenses in the country and certainly the AUK. The Green Wave defense allows 19 points per game, ranking at 7th.